In this video, I'm going to help you set up a store inside of GoHighLevel. So if you're looking to sell products and also navigate around on the store and set up products, etc., you're definitely going to want to see this video. And if you have not got GoHighLevel, I will leave a link in the description down below on a 30-day free trial, so you can test out GoHighLevel before even paying for it. But let's get started. So what we're going to want to do once we are on the dashboard, from here, we can simply come down here to Sites, select that. And now up here, we can now select on stores. So select that one. Now, when we create a new store, it's automatically going to create us a website. So that is something that the store does do. So what we're going to want to do is actually create a store. So new store, select that. From here, we can start from blank or we can start from a template. Now, I recommend starting from a template if you have not done it before. But if you are more advanced, you can start from blank. I'm going to start from a template as it just takes a lot faster to do, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to select that and click on continue. And now we can select a template. So you select any template that you do like. We can also got some tags on the side here. We also got e-commerce store, but just scroll through and see what template you like, and then you can use a template. So we can do anything you want. We've got fast food, weight loss. Now it doesn't matter on too much on what template you select, as we are going to be changing out most of it anyway. So for me, I think I'm going to select this one down here. I'm going to select that and then click on continue up here and wait for this to load. So now mine has loaded and we are now inside of the editor. Now inside of here, we can start customizing everything inside of here. Now we want to make this as our own. So inside of here, we can change out our product by selecting simply into here. We can highlight over this and we can change out the text. So we could put our shop name in here. We also got the background as well. If you want to change that out, you can select the background. And down here, we can select the little icon just here and we can change out the background. Now for me, I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to click on the little X button. Also up the top here, we've got our navigate menu up here. We can change this out as well. So over here, we can put our own shop name inside of here. So there is my shop name, the Mug Co. I think that's pretty good. We can also change out some of this other stuff up here. So if we don't want a home page, we can get rid of that. We can also get rid of the product page, the about, the team. We can edit that by clicking the little dots over here, and we can just delete this, or we can change the page that it goes to. Now, if you don't know what this does, it doesn't really matter too much. We can click on the cancel button. If you want to know how to customize most of this, I do have a full tutorial on how to make a website, and I will leave the link in the description down below on how to make the website. We are basically making a website here now. As I said at the start, that making a store makes us a website, so we are customizing a website right now. So I'm actually going to leave most of this as I did explain it in my other video, but now I'm going to scroll down, and down here we can see that we got products inside of our store. Now these products here, you're not going to see these products on your actual store once you've added your own products in. These are just template products that GoHighLevel has added in here for us. So just keep that in mind. These products won't be on our store. Now to add in our own products, we can select into this page. Now over here on the list, we can manage products. We can select into here. Now already I've got 2 products inside of here. Now if you have not got a product, you can click up here to create product. And inside of here, we can add a product name, a description. We can add a collection if we want to do that. We can also add the product tax code. And down here, we've got the tax included in prices. Down further, we've got the picture as well. So we can add in a picture for our product. And we've also got the prices down here for our product as well. So let's actually do this. So it's got back up to the top. It's adding a title. So I'm actually going to add in green coffee mugs, a set of 6. So now I'm going to scroll down. Now make sure this button up here is selected, include in online store. Make sure that is selected. That will automatically add it into our store for us. We can come down further, a description. We don't really have to add that, but you could add in the materials that you use to make your coffee mugs. We can also add a product label. We can add in a tax code as well. There's quite a lot in here that we can select. Now you can go through and select the right one for your product. We can also include the tax in prices if you want to do that. I'm also going to scroll down further. We can add in a product image. So we're going to want to select click to upload. And in here, what we're going to want to do is click on upload our own image. Now mine is uploading and here it is just over here. I'm going to select that and click on insert files. We can add in multiple pictures as well if you want to do that. I think you can do up to 10 pictures inside of here, so you can add in up to 10. Now we've got the price inside of here. We can add in a price for our cups or our mugs. So we can do something like $14.99 or something like that. We can also come down here, compare a price. Now basically inside of here, we can add in a higher price than our item price up here. So we could add in something like $24.99. Now what this will do is, this will make it look like our products on sale, that they used to be at $24.99. Also we can change the currency as well by coming over here. We can go up to the top, and up here we got the United States dollar just there. We can use that. Now, if you have multiple quantities of these cups or the coffee mugs, we can come down here and click on track inventory. Inside of here, we can add in on how many we've got available. Now, if you've got unlimited, you can unselect this, but I've only got 5 available. We can also add in a other price as well. So if you've got a slightly bigger mug or a smaller mug, you can add in another price by selecting that. And from here, we can add in the price in name. We can add in the amount as well. We can do that if we want to, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click on the X button just there, or the little bin icon, and I think I'm happy with that. We can also add in some SEO titles down here if we want to help it to get searched in Google, but yeah, again, you can do your research on that. That's not too difficult. From here, what we can do is we can now click on Save, and we can come on back. Now, as you can see, we've now got another product inside of our products. Now, if we head back over to our store, which is up here, what we can do is we can now actually just save this page. And if we go up to this icon up here, we select that. Inside of here, we can now see our products on our page. So now people can select inside of here. They can also purchase this item if they want to by adding it to cart. So if we add it to cart, it will come into a little cart icon. We can also go back over to our products as well. So we come up here to our products. We can come down here and select another coffee mug if we want to. We can now add this in as well by adding to cart. And now we can view cart. And inside of here, we can now see the price it's going to cost us. Now, we are doing free shipping. If you want to change all that, you can do that inside of the settings as well. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to click on the little X button just there, get rid of that one. I'm also going to get rid of this one here as well. We can continue shopping as well by clicking this continue shopping. Now, I've only got a few products in here, which is all right. Now, again, you're going to want to customize most of this out. Now, I'm going to click on the little X button up here, come back to our editor. Now, inside of here, our coffee mugs don't update inside of the editor. Now, this is done by default, so don't worry, your products will still be on your page. Just inside of the editor, you will not see them. So now what we can do is we can click on Save once again. And if we come back out of here, we can now see that we've got a website set up. So now we are inside of the Websites tab. And inside of here, we can now see every page that we have on our website. So we see we've got our products list, we've got the product details here, we've got our cart, checkout, thank you, contact us, and our home page. We can also add in our own page as well by selecting up here if you want to do that. So if you want, you can add in a home page, but I'm not going to be doing that. Next, what we're going to want to do is actually make a purchase in our website so we can see if everything is working. So what we need to do is we actually need to set up a Stripe account. If you don't have a Stripe account, now I recommend setting that up. And what you're going to want to do is actually integrate it inside of GoHighLevel. Now, once you've got a Stripe account set up, what you can do is you can come over here to the Launchpad. And inside of here, we can now connect our Stripe account. Now, I've already done this, as it does take a little bit of time to do. Now, make sure you do have a Stripe account, very important. Next, what we're going to want to do is come back over to sites, come back over to websites, and inside of here, here is our website. Now, come into the website by selecting into the website here. Now we're back on our pages just here. So from here, we can actually select products. So we see our products inside of our website. We've also got the settings over here as well. Inside of settings, very important, if you want to do a test purchase, we actually need to come down here to the payment mode and actually select live to test. Make sure you do that and make sure you've got your Stripe account connected. Otherwise, this will not work. Then once you've done your test, you're going to want to come back over to your settings and turn this back to live. This is so we can actually start accepting real payments from people. So make sure you do set that to live. But as I'm doing a test, I'm going to select on test. And also make sure you do add a domain. Now, if you don't know how to add a domain, I do have a video on how to do that. I will leave that linked in the video description down below. But for me, I've already got a domain, so I'm going to select into here and select my domain. And I'm going to click on save down here. And now what we're going to want to do is actually make a purchase. So what we can do is we can actually come over here to visit store URL, select that. And inside of here, we can now make a purchase on one of these products. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select the coffee mugs we've just made here, select that. Inside of here, I'm going to click on buy now. And from here, we can now add in our details. So we can add in our email address, the shipping details down here. We can also come down further and add in the payment details. And as you can see here, we've got test mode activated. That is because we switched it on our other page. Now make sure you do have this activated, as we're just going to use like pretend money, so we can do that. So simply add in some details. We can also add a note to our shipment as well. So the customer can add a note inside of here. So we can do that as well. I'm going to leave that off. Down here, we can now add in the payment details. Now, what we're going to want to do is actually come to this website here. This is the Stripe website. I will leave a link in the video description down below. And from here, we can now see the details we need to use to actually make a payment. So right here, we've got the card number for the United States. I'm going to select this. I'll come back over to our checkout page. I'm now going to paste that inside of here. And what we can do is we can add in our own expiry date. I don't think it really matters. You can use the same one I'm using right here. We can also put in our postcode in here as well, so something like that. And now we can make payment. So select make payment, and this will take a little bit to load. And it should take us over to the thank you page as well. As you see, the thank you page isn't working, but the payment has gone through. Now we can try fixing that in a bit. But if we head over to our email address, and inside of here, we can now see from the review, thank you for your recent purchase. We can select inside of here. We can now see that we've got our logo here. This is basically our receipt. And down here, we can select our receipt down here. And as we can see it's the green coffee mugs, and it cost us $14.99. Now, we're not finished just yet. We now have to fulfill the order. So what we can do is we can come out of our email. We're back on this page just here. What we can do is we can close this down. We can now head back over to our websites just here. And from here, what we're going to want to do is come to payments. Inside of payments, what we're going to want to do is come to orders and come over to orders here as well. And inside of here, we can now see that we've got our recent order just here. And as you can see, we have not fulfilled this order just here. So what we've got to do is click on the three little dots and click on view order. And inside of here, what we can do is we can now scroll down, and down here we can see fulfill items. Select that. Inside of here, we're going to want to add in the tracking number and the carrier, and also the tracking URL as well. So if we use like UPS, we can add in the UPS tracking number. We can put in UPS inside of here. We can also add in the tracking URL as well from UPS's website. We can also notify the customer. So if we click on save now, the customer will receive an email of the tracking details, letting them know that the order is on their way. So I'm just going to click on save. We can now see down here that our order has been fulfilled. So from here, we can now go back. So we come up here to orders, come on to the orders icon just here. And we can now see that this has been dispatched. So that is how you dispatch an item. So you now have to actually take your item to like a post office. You can do it that way as well. You can also make it, if you're doing like drop shipping, you can also just go to a website, purchase the item, and then make it send. And once you receive the tracking details, you can just add it into here as well. And then the customer will know that the item has been dispatched. Now, if you want to start receiving payments, you do need your Stripe account connected to your GoHighLevel. That is how we're going to receive payments. So all our payments will go inside of Stripe. Now, one more very important thing we need to do is that you come back over to sites, come back over to websites up here, come to our website, and from inside of here, come back over to settings, and we need to put the test mode back to live, and click on save. Very important. Now, that's how you create a basic store inside of GoHighLevel. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Also check out that 30-day free trial linked in the description down below. But that is it for this video, and I'll see you in my next one.